So as for the EU taxonomy, the large companies in EU will need to comply CSRD as well as the EU taxonomy. However, the EU taxonomy has not been well known in Japan so far. So could you explain the overview of the EU taxonomy?
Yes, you are right. EU taxonomy is an incremental part of the CSRD because CSRD is referring to the EU taxonomy. The EU taxonomy is an element of the environmental pillar within the ESG, and it asks the company to go through their economic activities and to map these economic activities to the list of numerous technical screening criteria given in the regulation. So the first step is to decide which kind of economic activities do I have and if they are eligible for the EU taxonomy. And if so, the next step is to discuss if this economic activity is substantially contributing to one of the 6 environmental goals. Beside that, you have to analyze if this economic activity do not significantly harm one of the other 5. And last but not least, you have to ensure minimum safeguards on these activities. Finally, you will come up with so-called aligned economic activities with the EU taxonomy. And the whole process ends up with, let's say, 3 additional data points you need to report on. And that is which percentage of my net sales have a kind of green character? Which percentage of my capital expenditures have a kind of green character? Just to give an example, an investment in photovoltaic on the production rooftop is a green, reportable investment, a capex. And in this respect, it has to be separated from all your other fixed assets. So there's already the direct connection of the EU taxonomy to the finance department and the chart of account or reporting structure of an entity. So last but not least, the third KPI is the percentage of OPEX which have green character. And you are absolutely right that this is a part of the ESG or CSRD journey to 2025, which is not so well known here in ASPEC. And I think that is why the headquarters here in Japan are keen to learn more about the EU taxonomy. And in my current projects in Europe, I see that people from the ESG department in Japan usually joining our sessions on the EU taxonomy.
And the next question from my side is about double materiality assessment. So for the first step of the CSRD project, the materiality assessment will be more and more important based on the double materiality concept. So could you please give us your insights about the double materiality assessment?
You are absolutely right. Since end of July, we have a clear picture that the European Union reduced certain mandatory data points and make them subject to the DMA, to the double materiality assessment. So, having said that, the DMA, the double materiality assessment, is core in a project. And it's a complex exercise to do. So, basically, you need to go to each material topic, standard by standard, and describe the impact, the risks and opportunities with respect to sustainable matters. And beside that, you also need to take in consideration not only the point of view of the company, but you need to consider third-party stakeholders. And that means you also need to take in consideration the point of view of your customers, your suppliers, Workers' Council, very interesting discussion always, and so on. And this external view is a kind of new exercise, needs to be organized, you need to have a kind of process in place, and at the end of the day, most important is that all these informations are documented in a very comprehensive and reliable way, because the double materiality assessment documentation will be subject to the later limited assurance, the audit work of the external auditor.